So let's see. The standard of living, or rather, what does it take for the average American to lead a happy life? Take a step back and think about what makes you happy. Don't factor in the American dream of getting married, 2.5 kids, white picket fence, large penis, etc., etc. Think for yourself and what true happiness means to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what it means to be happy because everyone has their own definition of happiness. What I will try to impress here is the fact that to be happy today is much easier than it was, like, I don't know, 100 years ago. Why? Let me tell you. There are multiple reasons why it's much easier to be happy today than generations prior, and I'm going to expand upon a few of them. Despite inflation, there are many consumer products which are definitely within an affordable range, from food, toys, video games, porn, and social networking, but it all really boils down to the concept of the internet. Don't get me wrong, I love the internet. I would marry the internet or engage in premarital coitus and fellatio with it, and I do. Because it has brought me so much joy and happiness, I'm sure many other computer users can back me up. Simply having the money to own a decent computer and access to the internet is probably the best investment anyone can make. First of all, as far as professional use, it allows us to look up information quickly, create professional documents, network with other business pros, or even be the place where we actually work in the comfort of our own home. Second, entertainment value. I've never spent time on a video game console as I have on my PC, or a Mac if you're into that kind of thing, except for Ocarina of Time or the Metal Gear series. It provides access to thousands of TV shows, movies, stories, online books, games. So in essence, a computer summarizes many activities into one convenient machine for an affordable price. Think of something to do in the real world that you can't do on a computer. Let me remind you that this is a loose comparison. Instantly, many people say sports, going outside, drinking, socializing. But there are activities that are extremely similar. There are electronic sporting type competitive games, MMOs, where you can see a much more rich, interesting, and dare I say, beautiful world than the one we already have. Drinking? No one said you couldn't drink while playing video games. And socializing. Virtually every game has some sort of social aspect to it. It's just leaning more towards a shit-talking environment and e-thug life. For those of you struggling to see the connection with sports, ask yourself, why do you play sports? Sports, in essence, is competition. It's a game, one where you have varying players of different physical and mental capabilities and stats that have influence over what team will win. Because let's face it, team-based games are the most entertaining because it adds an element of cooperation and strategy, ranging from soccer, football, basketball, Halo, Call of Duty, Counter-Strike, Left 4 Dead, World of Warcraft, kinda. So the next time you rag on your local nerds and say they waste their time in front of their computer, remember that they're engaging in the same type of competitive activities as someone who goes outside to play. Everyone in their life plays a game. It's the basic element of fun, whether it's quote-unquote real life, computer-based, or even relationship-based. Yes, relationships are just a huge game that people play until they can make it to endgame. A person you want to try and sleep with is nothing more than a set of rules and obstacles that you must identify, strategize, and eventually overcome for your creamy prize. And of course I'm going to get flamed by nerd haters, but then again, you're the one on YouTube watching my web series. Shall I continue about the standard of living? Sure. I don't only speak on behalf of the internet being the sole reason behind today's standard of living being pretty easy to satisfy, but it's the idea. Access to tons and tons of information and stimulus at one location. You know what provider strives to imitate the internet? Walmart. Sweet Jesus, have you been inside? Sooner or later, the world market is going to evolve into one megastore and probably just call it the store. And it has everything, including child pornography and pirated software. What more could you ask for? But let's continue and jump to habitats. What size habitat do you really need to live in? Factor in the amount of work it takes to obtain one as well. Do you want a mansion? Do you want a one-bedroom apartment? Or even a studio flat? You need gas, electricity, internet, heat, plumbing, debatable, and food. What experience do you need to make enough money for the bare necessities? School just isn't doing its job like it used to. There's too many students and not enough available jobs out there, so many people turn to entrepreneurship to make a living, being creative, inventing things, marketing a certain set of unique skills particular to them. Look at me. I'm sitting here trying to make a series popular enough to become a YouTube partner so I could sit on my ass every day and entertain people. Everyone wants to do the bare minimum to get by because the way things are going, it's too hard to try and the reward is not worth enough. If someone had told me job experience was more relevant than research and a bachelor's, I would have started working out of high school at a job I wanted to make my way up the corporate chain. I know I'm not the only college student who has had a rough time with their life and being let down by promises of do well in school and you will be rewarded. After those glory years, then boom, back in the kitchen flipping burgers. What the fuck? I'm supposed to be an executive CEO of some major company who does mysterious things and wears cool suits all the time. But here I am, still not really giving a shit because I can still find happiness in friends and other things in my life that I already had.